Is Bitcoin going to lose these very important levels that we need to hold, or is Bitcoin going to pump even higher and we're going to break this downward sloping trend and also the pivot level and come back above this major range? We're going to look at the price movement, but first of all, why are we seeing this dump for Bitcoin? Yes, the dollar currency index turned around and we saw this push back above the $101 level, and are we going to see that we're going to see this continuation all the way to the $104 level, or is the dollar currency index going to turn around in these regions? So we're going to find out all of that, and we're also going to look at Ethereum to find out what we could expect in the immediate short term. And if you want to find out more, watch the video until the end, smash up the like button and subscribe, and most importantly, activate the bell so that you always stay up to date. Welcome back to B for Crypto, and yes, before we're going to go to Bitcoin and Ethereum, we're going to look at the dollar currency index that saw this massive pump towards the upside. And why did we see this pump? Yes, because of the FedNow token, the digital currency that is now available from the Federal Reserve, and that's why we saw this pump all the way back up into the zone of $101 level. But we're going to look at the levels to find out where does this major resistance come from, or could it be that we're going to see a lower high and that we could expect that the dollar currency index is going to turn around in these levels. For that, we're going to go on the daily chart, and yes, on the daily chart we can see that the dollar currency index had this major push towards the upside, and like I told you in my previous videos, around about a year ago, if we're going to break this parabolic trend line, we could expect the dump all the way back down, and exactly that happened, and we have formed lower highs. And we can see that we are still forming lower highs for the dollar currency index. So what does this mean? Are we going to see this turn around? No, first of all, this is still a bearish structure because we can see that the dollar currency index is still forming lower highs, and that is overall quite bearish. But we're going to look at the support that the dollar currency index broke towards the downside, and as you can see, yes, it was support over here, and then we could see this parabolic run, and yes, it was support over here and also over here, where we can see that the price movement perfectly bounced off from this level of $101. So yes, at the moment we can see that the dollar currency index broke this level towards the downside and came all the way back down underneath the $100 level, which is also a psychological level. So yes, this was expected that we're going to get this bounce in these regions, but what we can see, yes, this support is turned into major resistance, and at the moment the dollar currency index is retesting this major resistance zone. So we could expect that maybe the dollar currency index is going to come a little bit higher, but then we're going to turn around in these regions and form another lower high for the dollar currency index, and this of course would be mega bullish for the price of Bitcoin. And why? Yes, we could expect that if we're going to see this turnaround and that the dollar currency index is going to face this major resistance, that Bitcoin is also going to turn around in these regions, and that is also exactly what I told you in the previous video. Expect the unexpected, and at the moment a lot of short positions have been placed in these regions and also on top of the markets here, and where we can see this wick yesterday all the way to the levels of 30,420. So yes, here are a lot of short positions open. So yes, their stop loss are exactly in these regions. So we could expect that Bitcoin is going to turn around in these regions to take out all of these short positions, which are exactly above this major pivot level. So yes, we could expect that Bitcoin is going to come back above this range and that the dollar currency index is going to turn around. Maybe we're going to see this push over the weekend, that Bitcoin is going to come all the way back into these major areas. That is going to be very important for Bitcoin. So yes, first of all, it's going to be very important for Bitcoin that we're going to hold this range low, which is exactly at the $29,500, because yes, if we're going to close a 4-hour candle underneath this major support, I could expect that yes, we're going to come all the way back down to the major support round about the $28,200, because if we go on the daily chart and turn on the VPVR, then yes, we can see this major gap in the volume profile, and we could expect, if we're going to lose this major level, that we're going to come all the way back down into the $27,800 to $28,200 level. So guys, yes, this line is going to be very important for Bitcoin, and we can also see that we're forming this broadening wedge, which is a bullish indication because yes, we could see this bounce exactly in these regions, come all the way back up and form even a higher high round about the 32,000 US dollar level. But yes, ultimately our price targets are going to be the 33,000 US dollars to come all the way into this major range in between the 33 and the 36,000 US dollar level. So yes, this is going to be our bullish case and also the bearish case if we're going to break this very important level. So let's go over to Ethereum and find out what is Ethereum doing at the moment. And yes, if we go on the daily chart of Ethereum, we can see that we are still within this major range. We saw this fake out towards the upside and also towards the downside for Ethereum. But guys, overall we can see on the daily chart that yes, we are still in this upwards trend and it looks like that we are forming this range. So yes, this bounce from this level could also mean that Ethereum is going to come all the way back up into this very important zone of 2,000 US dollars. So let's go on the 4-hour chart of Ethereum. And yes, here we can perfectly see that Ethereum is still in this upwards trend, that we are still forming higher lows on the 4-hour chart because yes, we can see the price movement came all the way to this trend line. We saw this perfect breakout and this major fake out towards the upside, and then we came back into this range and also the symmetrical triangle that we are holding for Ethereum. So if we're going to hold this level round about the 1,884 US dollars, we could expect that first of all, we're going to come all the way back up into the 1,929 US dollar level. And if we're going to see this breakout, yes, this major resistance zone of 2,000 US dollars is going to be our price target in the immediate short term. But guys, it is really going to be important if we're going to see this turnaround from the dollar currency index in these regions. Maybe we're going to see a push a little bit higher so that we could expect that we're going to form this lower high because yes, we're still in this downwards trend for the DXY, and the only way this can change is if the dollar currency index is going to come all the way back above the 104 US dollar level, so that we could say yes, the overall trend has turned around and that we have formed a higher high and also that we're going to form a lower high. But until this, I could expect that yes, we're going to see this turnaround exactly in these regions of this major resistance zone because yes, support turns into resistance, and I expect that we're going to turn around and that we're going to see that the price of Bitcoin is going to see this pump all the way back up into the range high. So yes, these are the levels that are going to be really important for Bitcoin. And if you like this update, smash up the like button and subscribe, and make sure to watch these videos to really be profitable in the markets, and make sure to be for crypto, and we see each other in the next video.